Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? Ah, ah, the Stray Dogs. Such a great show. My lord. I thought we had all of the bad guys pretty much mapped out on how cynical and weird and disgustingly broken they could be. But they're like, nah, bro, you haven't even seen the most broken character we got. And this man is disgusting. Not only did this man somehow lie up a storm when it came down to actually not giving out the information of how his ability works, but for some reason the person who should have been lying is the man who actually was keeping all the information about these abilities under lock, because we have a super real villain on the loose with too much data. Too much data, man. And I'm pretty sure he is not going anywhere anytime soon. Besides, maybe at the end of this season, I'm not sure. We'll see how it all plays out. But in the grand scheme of things, this man has pretty much shown me that I have no fate in anyone beating him. Like, well, what do you mean? I think when I was talking to people in the comments, though, they said that the two people that are gonna bring some troubles to one of the bosses, or like a boss in general, was these two. Was the two that we were seeing finally working together and not at each other's necks. But at the same time, we all know that as soon as they're done with working together, they go right back at it. So it's not. I don't see them working together for like full time anytime soon. But seemingly we at least got to see what it would be like if they worked together and actually put trust into each other. So I'm guessing the backstory wasn't just for nothing, unless it was just a backstory to kind of flush out the overall senses of what happened within season two and explain kind of why they had such a easy relationship during that boss fight. When they really needed it, they all of a sudden came together and also knew what to do in the certain situations, because he can let all out, and Dazai was just pretty much going to tap him on the back and bring him back to normal and reduce his powers to make sure they weren't working, so he can come back. But overall, man, this show, man, we are pretty blessed. It's kind of sad that JoJo is a recap this week, so I'm guessing no one should be expecting JoJo from your boy this week. I'm not really into dropping recap episodes, because I mean, not only can, if you really want to recap with me and know what I said on these episodes, you literally can go watch every single episode that I recorded up to where the recap starts, where they kind of start wherever the heck they want. They even added someone who's not even really in the story anymore, just because he had a big role in stopping one person who was trying to get to Trish, and that's about the end of his story. So there was a lot of that stuff going around, and this is the type of thing that this show does so well. Is I think they know the audience is watching and paying attention, so they don't. I don't think they've ever done a a general recap episode. I mean, they give you backstory and literally recap why these characters know each other or what their beef with is like with each other, but as a whole, it just doesn't do that, and that's what another reason why I want to show it as much respect and as much shining time on the channel, because man, not everybody is confident enough to just keep doing the episodes the way they are without stopping, unless I just didn't see it, because as JoJo does it on some places, they separate the actual the recap episode as its own separate thing, and it's not even like an episode. They just call it 1 through 3 recaps, or the other one was like episode 28.5 or something weird like that. So I'm not sure where they're fully gonna go with. I'm guessing it's gonna be something like that. But if they ever did something like that in this show, it feels like it would just be a waste of time because I mean, I guess it feels like a waste of time in all shows for me because I actually pay attention to the small details, and if there's something I miss, I gone back to that episode, not waited for a review thing to tell me exactly how I missed it and what I missed it for or something. So with that being said, I'm pretty sure this guy's ability is meant to be this very like ominous and hard thing to understand, which they did a brilliant deduction of his character this week. Like, I honestly don't know what to tell you. I mean, sure he like touched the kid's face at the end, kind of showing us what he could do just in general. I mean, it's almost as if inside of his mind, his whole entire face was like ripped off or cut to pieces or something. But in reality, none of that actually happened. Nothing like that happened to him, so he didn't feel any type of pain. Uh, and that's why even at that time, the kid could actually die with a smile on his face. Like, you had a rough life when death is actually a sweet release. Like, that is messed up, man. And not to mention, he had one of the cooler character designs in a while. But he did look like a lot of people's like kid. He looked like the guy who can see into the future. That guy, he looked like a little bit like him, mixed with the guy with the suit who hates Dazai. Like every red-haired character, he kind of looked like, and then he had that really cool, unique scar on his cheek to kind of uh, you can pick him out of a crowd then, but man, they were brutal to that kid. Like, holy crap, they're just like, yeah, he dies. He's dead. Um, it was nice that you enjoyed his character for as long as he was on the screen. Which I do want to ask in the comments down below, does that kid have a longer, like, overall thing in the manga or in the light novel? Was he just straight fodder for the win? Like, it just kind of goes to show you that he doesn't care about humans. He doesn't care about, he just don't care. Like, he don't care if you've been a slave here, and the reason why you are here is because some stuff happened to you and your whole family got bribed or something. That's the type of guy he seems like. I don't care why you're here. I'm just gonna make sure you know that I'm I'm gonna kill you, or you know what I mean? Like, the first thing he really said to a guy who had the upper hand on him was, I guess I'll just have to kill you first. Like, he's not begging for his life. He's not trying to get out of this situation. He's been waiting for someone to remove that mask. And I think as soon as he removed it, he was already out. Like, everything already has happened as planned. And because of that, it's funny to think that anybody even thought they had a chance. Like, you literally were being outplayed to every single degree of the time that you're spending with this man. Like, sure, you're getting some answers, which even this poker guy that we got, I kind of felt like was fodder because it's like, hey, here's a new character that we're just now introducing, and he's important. Like, oh, why is he important? Oh, he gets bodied. Huh. Yeah, he was pretty important. We needed to know how strong this guy was. That's an important thing to show. But yeah, man got instantly body off the rip, and I'm pretty sure what he was doing inside, like, it's kind of weird to say now because everything we learned about this episode turned out to be somewhat of a lie, right? Like, as soon as he gave away his quote unquote ability and talked about it, he supposedly thought he was being surveilled. And this is the thing that also kind of gives me some hope in the case of the story being just outrageously dope. is that this poker guy has false information. I hope he has the most false information ever, but I guess it wouldn't really make this bad guy all that bad if he's willing to take even, information that doesn't necessarily give him a heads up in this fight that he's going to be in. And not to mention, the only reason why he killed this kid is because he told him what he was doing. Like, if he just shut up and didn't tell him what he did, he wouldn't have had to kill him because he wouldn't have known the plan. He wouldn't have known why he was there. He wouldn't have known what he achieved of being there. But he's like, nah, I'll just tell you because I want to kill you. And I think that's why they call him a vampire or like soulless, is because that was the only thing I could tell you in the reasoning why he was killed off, was because he knew information that this guy literally just specified to him. Like, he just don't care. And that's the brilliant part of his deduction of his character and stuff like that. Like, we can't have him having easy pieces to foil his plans. We can't have him being someone that, oh, there's this kid that I really cared about, and because you found that kid, I can't fight back. Like, that's always dumb storytelling, and I feel like this kid was one of those people because he even had like a little cool backstories, like, I want to be the very no, he's like, I want to be he's like, I want to be the Port Mafia's leader. I want to be the boss. I want to take a run at running this city. But villains never come to save other villains, and it almost as if he gave up a long time ago. Because I mean, he was saying about the poker guy that he was practically God at this point. He's like, you can't do anything to get out of here. There's no way to get out of here because I tried to get out of here, and I'll just get my and oh my god, the guy who is controlling all this and running all this, his ability literally is to turn you into a freaking a gem. He turns you into money. He turns you into currency. This man is so greedy. He's like, huh, I want to put this collar on your neck, and if you ever don't even disobey me, if you ever just are in the vicinity and I need to prove the point of my power, you're getting it. You're gonna be the one to show it. And I was just like, are you? That's why you just killed the guy. He had no reason to die, and you just turned his soul into gems. Alright, buddy. Okay, buddy. Like, man, I was pretty convinced that this guy was gonna be like a third party in this fight or something. But of course we learned who the true third party is, and that would be the armed agency that this man is targeting, as well as the Port Mafia. So not only are we going to see, oh, what's up, Nobu Nog? Not only are we going to see this man try to trump the most dangerous organization of death, but he's also going to try to trump the most dangerous organization of justice. So he's literally in the middle of just good and evil. And that's what this kid practically tells us, is he's not evil. He's beyond it. And he's not good, clearly. He killed a kid that he literally tainted. He could have literally used this kid in his group, but I'm guessing that just goes to show you how much trust he has in people, including people that have already kind of bent over to the Port Mafia. Not to mention the guy wanted to be the leader of the Port Mafia. So it just kind of goes to show you why he probably destroyed him as well. There was an inkling of betray there, and he already knew it by hearing his backstory, hearing what he wanted to do, which really screwed him over at the end of the day. So I just want to talk about the way that he gets out by doing this is, like I was saying, he pretty much lied about his ability, right? And then after lying about his ability, the guy thinks he knows what's going to happen and how it's going to happen, and because he doesn't, it turns out that whatever he said his ability was a complete and utter lie. So what his ability could truly be is putting you into a conscious place where you're, moving around, because clearly it looked like all that stuff that he was calling out was actually real. Like the clock wasn't moving, like all this stuff he was literally looking at that made sense for someone to be controlling the space, was there. And I think that might be his power or something, using your thoughts, like using whatever you think would be valuable in this moment, and like faking it pretty much, like making it look like you're right. That's just my first guess. I really couldn't tell all too good what he was going for and what he was pulling out in this overall fight, but man, did it turn out sounding pretty cool. Overall, though, guys, I truly, truly enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys do as well. Let me know what you feeling on it, and if it is something you're definitely going to be thinking about for a while. Not to mention, what could he do with knowing all the abilities of the Port Mafia? And do you think that this guy actually had the right information, seeing how he didn't even have the right information on the guy inside his room, who literally was been, a prisoner for quite some time? And not to mention, I think because the Port Mafia is so smart, what's was stopping them from watching, uh what was stopping them from having surveillance of this, so I don't think the boss is dumb enough not to watch it, including since he knew this guy was a gambler and he was listening to his right hand lady at the moment, who was in the one of the top execs, saying, "Why should we trust him? He's just a gambler. He's just this. He's just that." And we get a very concise, easy answer. We need to see what he can do. And what can he do is he can betray you and fail awfully hard. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case it is when you're watching this. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will talk to you in the next one. No JoJo this week, so I'll probably try to find something else to put in here in the JoJo spot. So I do apologize that if you wanted the recap episode from me and I'm not doing it, I'm sorry, but yeah, it's just not, it's not for me. So with that being said, peace.